Okay, so today we are going to talk about, um, you know, as we're getting ready to make these big moves, right? Because we are praying some bold prayers and we are, deciding, making decisions about how we want our life to be, right? So when we start changing things and doing new things and evolving and going to higher levels, doing things that we've never seen, but that are working ourselves towards our goals, right? We have to be open to receiving higher wisdom. And what I say when what I mean when I say that, right, is let me get my scripture up here, y'all. I'm prepared. So Jeremiah 33:3 says, we're going to do the New Living Translation. Ask me, and I will tell you remarkable secrets you do not know about things to come. And so all that means is when you ask, right? Because we talked about ask, open your mouth. When we talked about asking, all he's saying, ask me and I'll tell you. I'll tell you things that you don't know. I'll reveal to you how you're supposed to get this done. I will reveal to you the people that you need to help you. I will reveal to you what you need to do. He will reveal it to you when you ask him. So if we're saying ask, you have to be open to him revealing what it is to you. Because the thing is, God talks to us. He speaks to us in all different ways. He speaks to us through people. He speaks to us through, answers that he sends us when we ask him a question. If you have a thought out of nowhere, that may have been a thought that answered a question that you asked yesterday or the day before or last week, or some kind of confirmation of something that you've been thinking about. God comes to us and speaks to us, but we have to be open to receiving what he's saying. We have to be open and have the faith to know, and also we have to have the, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now. Discernment. We have to have the discernment to know when he is speaking to us and when he's giving us his infinite wisdom. I think we talked a little bit a couple weeks ago about, God has the divine intelligence is what we were talking about. Divine intelligence. So when you're trying to do something you've never done before, when you're trying to see things that you've never seen before, when you are trying to accomplish goals that you have never reached before, you have to be open to receiving God's divine intelligence, because he will give you the way, he will give you the route. And when I was thinking about this, the other day I was talking about food and making a decision around food. And so when I was thinking about this one, I was like, simply explaining this, it's simple, but the whole thing behind it is a little more complex, right? So I live in Cincinnati, and in Cincinnati, there are so many orange barrels, right? Traffic up and down the highway. Okay. And at certain points when they were fixing certain areas of the highway, the engineers, right, carved out little sections where it was like what do they call it? Like a one-way. So you were on this little one lane. If you were going a little further up the road, I can't think of what they were calling it, but it's like the lane, the bypass lane or something like that. And so anyway, these engineers, it looks so crazy, and when you're going through it, it's so narrow, and you're going up the highway in this little narrow thing that they've carved out, and it's cars on one side of you going the opposite way, but it's cars on the other two lanes that are going the same way as you, but you're in the bypass lane, right? So these engineers have crafted this detour or whatever up the highway as they're fixing this. And so I thought about it like, when we're in traffic, the detours that these engineers come up with to get us, this door or this highway or this street right here might be closed off, but if you go around and come back down, you can get back to your destination. So what's the word I'm looking for? I connected it with traffic, right? So if the engineers of the world can come up with those detours and those things to make sure that we get to where we need to go, God is the engineer of our life. How come he can't take us through some crazy detours and highways and byways and come up and create craft something that's so intricate that we would never see what's on the other side. It's like, I went through all of this to get to all of this goodness that you have for me. So in our journey to that, we have to be open to receiving the divine intelligence. We have to be open to receiving God's wisdom as we're trying to do that. And while we're going through things, and as we're asking and open our mouths and being open to receiving, God will reveal things in us that we need to get to our level. He will reveal why you had to go through something. He will reveal why he connected you with someone. He will reveal what you need to do next. He will reveal the prerequisites for you to get to where you're trying to go. When you ask him for what you really want and are open to receiving where he's trying to take you, he will reveal things that you do not know. It says that he will reveal secrets that we are not aware of. We don't know how this journey is going to end up. We have a vision of where we're trying to go, but the detours, the highways and the byways that it's going to take for us to get to where we're trying to go, we don't know every step of it. We can't predict everything that's going to happen. We don't see everything that's going to come in and try to become an obstacle for us because we have something great within us that we're trying to get out, and the enemy is like, no, I don't want you to get that out of you. So all of these things that are going to be presented to us, we don't know. But when we ask and say, this is what I want, when we ask and are open to receiving exactly what it is we want, he will reveal to us the things that we need to make it to the other side. I was watching NY. Y'all know I used to talk about my pastor AD all the time, and I haven't really been caught up on my NY Huntsville, my other church family, okay? But something, God moved me to watch it today, okay? And he moved me to watch it, and Pastor Candy gave such a great sermon, and she was saying, you know, that God will reveal things to you. He will reveal to you what you need when you need them. He will start, the scripture says, he will finish the good thing that he starts within you. When we start something, when he gives us an idea, even if we can't finish it because there are things that comes up, there's obstacles that comes up, there are delays that happen, even when those things come along and it doesn't flow the way we hoped it would flow, always remember and always know that if he started it, if he gave you the idea, if he gave you the motivation, the inspiration, if he connected you with the people to get it started, even though something may have stopped it for a time, for a season, he will always make sure he finishes what he started. So even if it's not the right time when you want it to be the right time, if God gave you that vision, if he gave you that mission, that assignment, he will make sure to finish it. So you have to be open to hearing and receiving the wisdom that he's trying to give you as he's walking you through this journey that you have not seen, as he's elevating you, as he's taking you to your next level. We have to be open to receiving the wisdom that he's trying to give us. We have to be open to the revelations that he sends to us, whether it be through people, whether it be through something we saw, whether it be through, sometimes you get immediate confirmation of what you're asking for, and sometimes it may take a while. So we have to be patient and then hold firm to knowing that he will reveal to us what we need to know at the time we need to know it, because we may not need to know what's happening right now. We may not need to know if what we need is going to show up next week, but next week when we need it to show up, it will show up if we need it. And we need to hold fast to the truth that if we don't have it in that moment, we don't need it in that moment, and stop focusing on what we don't have and focus on what we do have. Focus on what he has revealed to you. Focus on what he has connected you with. Focus on who he has connected you with. Focus on everything that you have and not anything that you lack. Okay? So I want y'all to get that in your spirit on today. Listen, God is the architect. He is the engineer of this thing called life. He will reveal the detours that you need to travel on. He will reveal everything that you need in the time that we need it. And once we ask, you have to ask. You have to, Pastor Kendi was saying, you have to be very specific with what it is you want. Don't just ask for a car. Ask for the black Toyota Sequoia, whatever it is, be very specific about what it is you want, and then be open to allowing God to reveal to you how to get to, how to accomplish, how to get to that goal or that accomplishment, what you need to do to make it from where you are to where you're trying to go. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have, and then be open to receiving and ask for guidance, ask for wisdom, ask for what you need to get the things that you don't have in order to take you to where you're trying to go. All right, y'all. So that's my message on today. So I hope you all enjoyed that one.